Hello, boys. It's Tuesday morning. I'm up early to get the fantasy football video done. Sorry I didn't do it last night. I was a little bit tired. Alright. There's a lot of interesting things. But I want to get down to the business about this best trade rape ever. Okay? We're talking about Julio Jones, Adrian Peterson. Julio Jones, 50 freaking points. 50 points. Matt has them, if you guys don't remember. What did Adrian Peterson get this week? 13. 13. If you guys still think that's a fair trade, you guys are out of your freaking mind, man. Matt went from not even being in the playoffs to in the playoffs. And Henry quaaluded himself on that trade by trading Julio Jones. But let's get down to it. Alright, this week was me and Mike Basco. I had 115. Basco had 115.2. Basco had 84.2. Not a bad game. I almost thought he was going to win because of last week when he came back from that 40-point deficit from Chad. So I got a little scared. Camel Toe Crushers, which is Connor, had 158 points even. Versus Robin, 98.7. Matt versus Paul. Paul had 135.1. Matt, 197.3. That is the highest score ever in the league now. Connor held it twice with 2 scores. Connor had it twice. He had, first he had like 170, and then he crushed it with 171, and I thought no one's going to beat that again. But nope, Matt came by, almost hit 200 points at 197.3. Chad versus Jessica. Jessica won. It was 80.4, which was Chad. Jessica, 102, even. Jessica won her 3rd game, which was kind of crazy. Frank versus Phil. Frank, you had 95.7. Phil, 112.3. Zach versus Henry. Zach, 116.4. Henry, 97. That was actually a pretty close game. I thought it was going to get a lot closer. But let's talk about who's top player and everybody. My top player would have to be Gronkowski, coming in at 25.2, 82 yards, 2 touchdowns. He did really good for me. But for Basco, it would have to be, man, no one broke 20 points. So, you know what? If no one broke 20 points, you're not going to be on there. So, sorry, Basco. No top player for you. All right, Connor. Connor, you had Antonio Brown going off again for 40.9. 40.9. 169 yards, 2 touchdowns. 40.9 for Connor. For Robin, let's see. Man, Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon actually did you really good. You got 114 yards, 1 touchdown. You got 25.5 points. He is a running back, people, for Cincinnati Bengals, if you guys didn't know. So then I also have Matt. Matt, I mean, Matt, you had Carson Wentz, Le'Veon Bell, Julio Jones. Man, those are just, your Cardinals defense. Your kicker got you 10 points. Even on your bench, man, you had players that went off. But your top player, of course, was your trade rate was Julio Jones with, ready, 253 yards. 253 yards, 2 touchdowns. 2 touchdowns. For Paul, it'd have to be, let's see, Paul, it'd have to be Trevion Coleman, the running back for the Falcons. He got you 97 yards, 2 touchdowns. All right. So let's just keep in mind, people, 253 yards for Julio Jones. So because when we get to Frank, we're going to see if that Henry, we're going to see if that trade was worth it. For Matt, for Chad, should I say? Sorry, Chad. No one broke 20 points. Sorry, you're not in there this week. For Jessica, no one broke 20 points. Sorry, you're not in there this week for top players, which is kind of sad. All right, for Frank, your top player would have to be Robbie Anderson, the wide receiver for New York Jets. Yes, 146 yards, 2 touchdowns. All right, you got your 32.6. That's actually pretty damn good. Your kicker got you 17 points, which, damn, you know. For Phil, it would have to be Zach Ertz. He is a tight end for the Philadelphia Eagles. 103 yards, 1 touchdown. He got you 26.3. All right, Zach versus Henry. Zach, you had Keenan Allen, which you never replied. Did you pick him off the waiver wire, or did you always had him? But that guy went off again. He got you 172 yards, 1 touchdown, got you 34.2 points, which was crazy. Henry, your top player would be the quarterback, Casey Keenum from Minnesota Vikings. Okay. He's actually pretty damn good this year. I think they're going to start him next year, personally. And it's a guy you guys might want to keep in mind. I mean, the guy threw 282 yards, 2 touchdowns. He didn't get any interceptions. And he got 27.3 points. But let's talk about Adrian Peterson that you had, shall we? I mean, I would. I mean, you traded Julio Jones for him. I mean, Adrian Peterson, you know, 79 yards, 0 touchdowns, got you 13.9. Was the trade worth it? Was the trade worth it? I mean, the Garcon and a Ajaja trade was a fair trade. Ajaja got 4.3 points. You guys act like he was going to go off, you know, or like he was going to get crazy fantasy points, and it never did happen. But we all knew Julio Jones would fucking just go off, and we denied. But you guys wanted that trade go through. There you go. Paul, you should have stuck with us, and you should have vetoed that trade. You would have had a chance to win. But let's talk about who got kicked off the playoff bracket and who still has a chance. All right. So who got kicked off the playoff bracket this week? That'd be Frank. Frank got kicked off the playoff bracket this week. And who took that spot? I wonder. The guy who scored 50 points with 1 player, Matt. So Matt now is in 6th place. He is 6-6. Okay? So let's see who has a chance to win this. Frank, you still have a chance because you're 6-6. So if Matt loses this week and you win, you take that playoff bracket again. So that will actually be kind of nice. But again, Paul, you still have a chance too because you're 5-7. So if you win and Frank loses and Matt loses and you win, you take off that playoff bracket, which would be crazy. Robin, if Paul lost, Matt lost, and Frank lost, you would have a chance, which would be kind of cool. So that's the playoff bracket right now. Matt took the spot of Frank, and you know, so the playoff bracket is looking like not Don Pedro, Ha Ha Henry, Team Z Diddy, Matt, Connor, and Phil. That's in the playoff bracket right now. But there are still chances who are 5-6 and all that stuff, and 6-6. So there's still plenty of room to knock off Matt unless Matt wins his game tomorrow. So then you guys are screwed because then it goes to points 4. to stay in that playoff bracket. And if you look at Matt's points, 4 points, since he got 197.3 points, it really kind of sealed the deal, unless you guys break a 200 mark. But that's it for the week, man. Until next week. Next week is our last regular fantasy football schedule. So I'll do another video. If you guys want a video during the playoffs, I'm going to be more than welcome to do it. Just let me know in the group chat. But until next time, boys, peace out.